What's going on, guys? It's your boy Efrum, and we got Derz, and we're here with you because Champions League is started. Game week 1 is over. We've had big games. We've had some controversial games, topics, ideas, judges, but big games nonetheless off the first week. Let's get into it, Derz. What game you want to talk about first?
What's up, guys? Yeah, so interesting week. A lot of decisions have been made, drastic decisions. And I guess we'll start off with Benfica, because Benfica sacked their manager after this loss to Karabakh. 2-3, not the best performance from Benfica. I think they were winning this game 2-0, and to lose 3-2 against a team that's not the biggest of teams, right? When we're comparing Benfica to Karabakh, you expect a Benfica win. This has all led to the return of one of the best managers. Some people have considered him. Some others will say he's fallen off drastically over the last couple of years. But Jose Mourinho, he's coming back to Portugal. How you see this?
I mean, it's just crazy because he's going to the team that pretty much got him fired from his other job. He was Fenerbahce. He gets knocked out by Benfica. So they're like, you know what? You get the boot. No Champions League. No job. Now Benfica comes, loses to one of the bottom teams of the Champions Leagues. That manager gets a boot. They get Mourinho on. He gets Champions League. He gets paid. And he's back at home. So this was an all-win scenario for Mourinho, I think. And um, it's just crazy to me that, he ended up getting the better hand of the stick on this one. Um, but I think it's a good move. Mourinho's a legend. Um, I knew, we're Mexican. If you put me to go to a Mexican team, like there's something about, representing your home country that kind of gives you that extra oomph. So, I mean, I love Benfica. I hope they could do great things. And yeah, we'll see if he could bring him back up because 3-2 against Quarterback. I think they were at home too, right?
Yeah, they were at home, so they had all the conditions to win the game. It was just a
Yeah.
weird situation where you end up losing a lead dramatically. Um, so you're pro Mourinho in this situation. You think that he's gonna help him out in this season?
Yeah, I just think you can never doubt Mourinho. You know, People can say he's
Yeah,
fallen off, but I mean, he's done amazing things in the past, and he could always replicate him.
yeah. I mean, he did great things at Porto, Chelsea, helped Real Madrid build the squad that they have. That ended up doing the three-peat. Went on to Man U, won the Europa League with them. Took Spurs to a FA Cup final. So yeah, he has an incredible resume. It's just, to be honest, from the such a high feat that he did with Porto and with Chelsea and with Inter, especially Inter winning the treble, he hasn't really been able to replicate some things. So there's definite doubt. Me personally, I think he could help Benfica, especially the last couple of seasons where they've been losing to Sporting in the league. I think it'll be beneficial to see him in. But as far as Champions League goes, woeful match from Benfica. Moving on to the next game, one of the best games probably this week, probably the best game to be honest. We got Juventus 4, Borussia Dortmund 4. Amazing game, back to back, all goals in the second half, and Borussia Dortmund was actually leading this game 4-2 coming into minute 90, and they kind of bottled this game. I think they had a lot of moments in the game where they could have just tried to control the midfield, try to be more solid defensively, and just see the win out. But instead, maybe they were a little bit too eager to attack, and they were left exposed in the back, which led to Juventus getting their opportunities to tie the game. Me personally, I think that this is more of a Borussia Dortmund loss because they had the lead the whole time. But interesting to see what you kind of viewed from this game.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 4-2 and it's minute 90, like you can't let that slip. It was entertaining game, beautiful game to watch. I mean, I think the other game that was going on at this time was what was it, the Real Madrid one? I think
Yeah,
everybody was tuned in on the other one. We missed out on one hell of a game. For those that did watch it, well, Jealous of you because you witnessed probably game of the game week one. So congrats to you. Hats off to you. But for Dortmund side, I mean they played a good game. Honestly, both teams played really good. There was opportunities on both ends. This game could have easily been 6-6, 7-7. Like there was a lot of clear opportunities that just weren't made. But um, when you're 4-2 and it's been to 90, you just gotta, you can't risk stupid plays. That third goal, the defender tries faking his way out of from the back, fake, 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 tries passing out. Brandt is asleep. They take the ball away, cross, goal. You just got to kick that ball out sometimes, man. And it's frustrating when it's just something as simple as just kick the ball out. You got 4 minutes to spare to let two goals in. You don't play it in your box. Get that shit out. Um, and then to get another lucky break at the end. I mean, it's just poor defending from Borussia Dortmund. I think a tie, a point each, is respectful, and they both deserved the point. They both gave it all. Vlahovic at the end there really was he was very pivotal for Juventus tie. He just turned on the Jets, full of energy. I think he participated in that last goal with the cross. I forget about the second to last one, but um, yeah, when it's 90 plus, you're up 4-2. I'm pretty sure Dortmund fans see this as an L more than anything, but I think a tie represents what that match showed us. Good
Yeah,
representation.
yeah. I think the tie is only fair because Borussia Dortmund wasn't good enough to control the game. I think Borussia Dortmund had merits to win the game, and of course Juventus deserved a tie because of um, how much they put into the game towards the end, especially Vlahovic, like you mentioned, 2 goals and an assist. Um, he was instrumental, and I think Borussia Dortmund really lacked the mental part to be able to just see out the win. And unfortunately, this game is just as much physical as it is mental. Borussia Dortmund has to go away from that game feeling like they could have won, but ended up with a tie. We all know how important the Champions League is for points to get into that first half of the bracket, so that you don't have to play that kind of like wild card game, and also financially. I mean, we saw with Liverpool last season how much money they made by getting that first place spot. That was a huge, I would say, L in my opinion. But Juventus going back to back four goal games after the Inter game and now against Borussia Dortmund, you gotta at least acknowledge that their offense is doing good. Their defense probably could use some work, but interesting to see Juve after last season not doing as good as expected versus now with the new manager since March of last season. But moving on from that game, probably the game of the season, at least so far. We got Real Madrid Marseille, very controversial game for obvious reasons, a red card and a penalty that maybe neither one of them was the right call. And as a professional, as a ref, you just got to do better in those situations because I don't think the red card was a red card. It's just they're getting in each other's face, and he slightly taps him. I mean, it's not an aggression that I think deserves a red card. And then the penalty, I mean, controversial play. He falls, like he slips or slides, and the ball kind of lands in the position where he puts his hand. I mean, not much you could do. Um, and Real Madrid walks away with the win. What's your take on that?
Yeah, pretty controversial game. I mean, that red card, um, look, they were both going at it. They were both in each other's face. I think Carvajal just took the bait, and obviously he became the aggressor, bumped his head. The goalie, he rage baited him and made him come in for the hit. And I think they were always going to give that a red, but it was a soft one just because they were both going at it. For the goalie to just not get anything out of it, it's like, all right, well, they're both talking to each other. Obviously, Carvajal should have kept a cool head, and everything would have been fine. But I don't know, Carvajal's been getting a little aggressive lately. He's been I think he's got like short man syndrome. Like he's got a lot to prove, you know. So he's got to be really be really aggressive. But on the other side, the penalty, I don't think that was a penalty, man. Like it was. He's falling. He's on the ground. There's. You tell me where else is he supposed to put his hand? You know, and there's not many places he could have that hand at, and it's already close to the ground. He's already on the ground. Is he just supposed to just fall on his back? You know, like it was. I don't know. For me, it was a soft penalty. You do see some of those getting called, but it's uh, for the most part when they're falling down like that, like more times than not. I mean, even there was a order guard one where he's kind of falling. He's not even sliding in. I'm talking to a Liverpool Arsenal game where he's just kind of leaning back, but since they say, oh, his hand's in a natural position, bounce off his hand goes down. He's not even sliding. Uh, they let something like that slide. This guy's actually sliding, doesn't get any of the player. He's falling down. He's already planting his hand. It hits it, and like it wasn't really a dangerous ball, but because it hit his hand, boom, penalty. It's just a very soft penalty that anywhere else probably wouldn't have been called, you know. And it's just unfortunate to see, but this is Madrid's tournament. You know what else can you do?
No, there's no such. Real Madrid does not buy refs. No, I think the ref just got lost in the play because I mean that's not a red card, and I think that maybe like decisions like that, and you're feeling the pressure, and it's a Champions League game. At the end of the day, he's a professional. He should have done better. Uh, it's just one of those things, I guess. I mean, you can always be on your best game. There's arguments for it because he does touch the ball, but realistically, there's nothing the defender can do. So it's kind of like one of those situations where I could see why he marked it initially, but when you have the VAR, you have to be able to retract that decision because it wasn't a penalty. But moving on from that game, well, actually, I want to make one point. Carvajal red card, Trent injured. Ramos is gonna have some issues now.
Exactly.
I don't want Valverde at right back, but I mean it is what it is. Looks like just because I think he's more influential in other areas, I think he could do more on the attack and the recovery in central positions. But I mean Jude Bellingham's coming back quicker than expected, so I mean we might see that. It's just not something that I prefer, just because I think he offers you so much more in other areas. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. Moving on to the next day of Champions League games, uh, Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. Very, I think, underwhelming from Chelsea, and I mean Bayern Munich has really started the season off really, really well. I mean, they've been crushing it in the Bundesliga very early start of the season. Can't really say that it's we're seeing the best Bayern ever. But I mean, with wins like 6-0 versus Leipzig, 5-0 versus Hamburg, and then going on to the Champions League against Chelsea, who is the Club World Cup champions, and really giving it to them. I think that there was more of a argument to say that Bayern Munich was closer to a 4-1 rather than Chelsea was closer to a 3-2. I think Bayern really just demolished Chelsea, and Chelsea has not been doing well since the Club World Cup. The start of the season has been very slow. They started off pretty good versus West Ham. They had a 5-1 win, but other than that, very, very slow start of the season for Chelsea. Interesting to see how you viewed this game.
Yeah, Bayern's looking good. They're looking strong. I mean, I think I saw a stat. Harry Kane already has 10 goals this season.
I'm not sure.
So
He's been crushing it
fact
though.
check me. But if it's already 10 goals, bro, the season just started. You know, it's ridiculous from So Bayern's looking strong. Olise is looking just more and more. He's looking so good. Like he's so comfortable with the ball. He makes it look easy. He's just so nonchalant about it. But you know, he'll stand still and then just pick out a pass that, it's could be a lethal pass, an assist, um, different gravy, And if he gets it good with Harry Kane, Luis Diaz on the left cooking. They're looking deadly. I mean, they made Chelsea look like, a mid-table Bundesliga team. I didn't really see many chances from them. Um, I think Caicedo was a bit unlucky on the penalty. He came a little short reaching over as a defender. You usually attack those when you know you're gonna hit the ball. You're typically confident. He was probably confident he was gonna get the ball, but Harry Kane's just so big, shoved him aside, pushed him a little back, made him miss the ball, dropped Harry Kane, penalty. Unlucky, but still, like you said, it could have easily been 4-5-1. But yeah, I mean, for being the World Cup champs, they haven't had the best start to the season. Uh, after that Club World Cup, I was having, maybe Chelsea could be a title winning contender in the Premier League, with Liverpool, Champions League contender. But after these first 5 games, I think they've only won two, maybe tied two and lost one. It hasn't been the best start for the champs, and just makes you question. Are they gonna be that you know world champion team who are gonna fight for titles this year? And if not this year, then when? They've done a lot in the business, in the market, and after those couple trophies they've just won, you thought they would come in a lot stronger. But maybe it's taking a little bit more time than they'd like. But honestly, we expected more after they took down the champs PSG. But so far hasn't been that. Still early. We'll see how they do. But Bayern, good dub, looking strong, looking scary. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, so I just checked it, and yeah, Harry Kane has scored 10 goals this season, which is monstrous, monstrous. Especially after last season, I don't think that last season he scored as much as we expected him because he's Harry Kane. He's one of the best strikers, if not. Well, I think he's kind of lost that title of best striker in the world. With I think Isak had a better season than him last season. The season before that, we saw Holland have one of the best seasons ever. I think he's coming for that title. And but yeah, I mean, like we mentioned before, we expected more from Chelsea, and in my opinion, I expected less from Bayern. I think this season they've been cooking. So it's interesting to see how far they can go in this tournament. Definitely look out for them. Moving on, you could tell by my co-host jersey, Liverpool, Atletico Madrid. Liverpool has been on Fergie time. They're only winning games in the last 10 minutes. And it's interesting to see. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't be mad at my team for winning every game, but I would definitely expect to be winning games a little bit more comfortably. I don't know how you see it. It's another game where they're leading very early on, 10 minutes in, or I get like minute by minute six, it was 2-0. You would have thought Liverpool's just going to walk this one out. Uh, Atletico Madrid come back from the depths, tie it up, and again, minute 92, Virgil van Dijk. It's Virgil van Dijk's turn, and he wins the game at Anfield. How do you see it? Do you not care, or is it more like does it worry you at all that the games are being decided in the last 10 minutes?
Well, first off, Simeone, you just got slaughtered, lad. Welcome to the slot penitentiary. It was gonna happen. We said it wasn't gonna be pretty next time he saw you, and it wasn't. Get out of here. Red card. Bro, he lost his head with our fans, bro. We're in his head. We're in his head. But yeah, it felt good. It was a little shaky. It was a little nerve wracking, but it's what we do. We win games in the last minute. First 5-6 minutes, we're up 2-0. You think we're just gonna steamroll them. We still have throughout the whole game a lot more chances than they did. We were definitely the better team, but we let some goals creak in too. And then, like you said, you just kind of felt like Liverpool were going to score towards the last couple minutes, especially after the last 4 games they've done it. I know I was watching that game. I'm like, I'm not even worried. They're going to score. We kept getting corner after corner after corner. One of them is about to happen. Boom, Van Dijk. He looked like he was hungry for it. He wanted it. He wanted that Sergio Ramos-esque 90 plus minute on Atletico's Madrid head top, and he got it. Boom, get off me, son. Top bins or to the side, I don't care, whatever. But he got it, and Number four is just what they do against Atletico Madrid, you know? So it felt good to see him score. Robertson scored, technically. Salah, you know, all of our OGs on the score sheet feels good. Our new players, I mean, there were several moments they could have easily had their own goals too. At one point, Verse was playing with Isak, 1-2. Verts gets past the goalie, lays it off for Frimpong. He's just a little too forward, but it could have been a goal off for our three newly brought players, you know? So not on the score sheet, but I see what they're cooking with. They're looking good, looking scary once everything starts getting glued. But it is a little, you know, questionable, you know? Like what why does it always have to come down to the last couple minutes? You know, why can't we hold off a lead? We were 2-0 up in the 6th minute. And it's just almost like, all right, we already won this game. We don't got to be putting in all this energy, all this, you know, it's like they get too complacent and they start getting too cheeky with it. You know, they want to do the fancy pass, they want to do the fancy thing. Uh, you get the breakthrough, and then you got five players running towards you, and then we end up not making the right pass or little things like that, where it's like we got to be, you know, we can't, we got to be critical. We got to be ruthless. All right, we can't just let stuff like that slide. That's how they're gonna come back, and sure enough, they did. So it's like, all right, we got to be more on top of it, not let stuff like that slide by, and just dominate games. You know, look at Bayern. They're dominating 5-0, 6-0, 3-1. PSG, they won 4-0. Like that's what Liverpool has the potential of becoming, but winning late minute headers, Fergie time, slot time, whatever you want to call it. You know, we can't promise you that every time. I mean, so far we're 5 for 5, but um, can it really go on like this? I mean, like that meme says, I mean, it really can, but you're playing with fire at that point. So, I mean, I hope it sends Arnie Slot some question marks, you know, a little bit of yellow flags. Like, all right, what's going on between us being up towards the last couple minutes of the game where they tied us up? Because it's happened too many times. There's obviously some creaks, some leaks that are going on here, and yeah, I hope he gets it situated because once his team is cooking, you know, that's what we're trying to see. You know, we didn't spend so much money for us just to have potential. You know, we want to see them cooking, and waiting to the last end of the minutes is not on Slot's plan, I'm sure, but we still got to give him props for having that mentality to go the full 90 plus and win the games. And they're 5 for 5, so I guess it's been working. They're top of the league, and I mean, I can't complain, you know, but ideally we'd want to send games like this to rest. The sooner the better, you know, especially after being 2-0 up by minute six. Like, put this game to rest, you know. But I mean, it is what it is. They took the dub home. It was a little scrappy, but we take it. Our captain stepped up when had to be. Go, come on, you Reds.
Yeah, I think it's I don't think it's a tactic from Arne Slot to let other teams catch up, but it is kind of like known that in the Eredivisie and kind of like Dutch football is to attack first, and the best way to defend is by attacking. So I mean that could be one of the reasons why they leak in so many goals. But at the end of the day, results are results, and that's what you kind of play for. You don't win by holding a lead sheet. You or clean sheet. Sorry, you win by scoring more goals than the opposition. So I mean, hard to really argue it. It's just kind of like maybe just a concern, I guess. But at the end of the day, when results are good, who really cares? The point is to win. Moving on from one of the other candidates to win the Champions League to maybe one of the best teams right now in world football. Um, PSG. I mean, wow. 4-0 against Atalanta. Sure, they got a new coach. Some players aren't there anymore. Things are different. But to win the way that they'd won, I mean, that's complete domination. It felt like no matter who was in front of them, they were going to destroy them. 4-0, like you mentioned already. This is just complete domination. What I saw from PSG, it's just I have no words for it because it's just they're just too strong in my opinion. I mean, I'd love to see what happens in the future when they play games like against Barca or other games that they're going to have that are a little bit more difficult going forward. But as of right now, do not bet against them. I mean, eventually they're going to have Bayern Munich, Barca, and yeah, I mean those are going to be the litmus tests, I think, of PSG, of what they're capable of. But as of right now, I mean, I would not bet against them. They're just too strong. Their midfield is crazy. Defensively, they are. It's not even like that they're strong defensively. It's that their defense is so. I mean, two of their goals were from defenders. I mean, they score from every position. They score everything. I mean, I don't know. I hated PSG for the longest just because they were just a money based team. But now it's hard to not like them just because of how good they're doing and because of that the way that they play. It's not sweaty football. It's pure football. I don't know. It's beautiful. They touch the ball so well. And their coach, Luis Enrique, he's a likable person, but at the same time, he's kind of crazy. He goes up to the stands to watch the game rather than being like every other coach in history at the byline. So, yeah, crazy PSG. They're doing things differently, and I mean they're getting the results. So, kudos to them.
Yeah, man. PSG are looking scary. They're honestly the team to beat right now, and I mean they're the previous Champions League winners, so it's what you kind of expect. But the way they're looking right now, they're looking too good, man. Against that Atalanta game, first 10 minutes they had four clear chances. They could have been up 4-0 in 10 minutes, and it was scary from them. They just kind of keep you on your side. The pressure is so high, uh, so fast. They don't give you time to breathe or nothing. And then you have those defenders that can easily turn into attackers and attack you from every position, And it's just kind of, as a team, it's kind of scary, because you don't know who to mark at some points. You could have Travis Keller run at you, um, take on your defenders, and just score a long shot, or you could have both wingers and fullbacks up attacking you from both sides of the wings, and uh, they're going to have the pace to go back and drop and defend, and you have Marquinhos just kind of orchestrating everything, and they're looking good, and they're only getting better. I mean, Luis Enrique is out here on top of the damn stadium trying to see if any possible ways of them even being a better side. He said, "I don't like this. I can't see this the whole thing from down here. I want that FIFA view." My boy's playing FIFA Ultimate Team out here, and we got managers still looking at bystand. So, I mean, they're trying to find ways how to get better. They didn't really go big or mediocre big in at all in the transfer window. I mean, who did they really get? I don't. Not a single name comes to mind of who they got. So they've only kept the same team. Their chemistry has looked insanely good, and I mean, you just get the team that's already good to work even better together. They're gonna only be a better team. So they're looking good. They're looking scary. Yeah, I wouldn't bet against them. That's the team to beat right now. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, they bought Sabarny and Chevalier, so goalkeeper and a center back. So yeah, their offense and their midfield is essentially the same thing. Sabarny comes off the bench, so their defense is essentially the same thing. Just swapped Donnarumma for Chevalier. That's really the only business that they made. But yeah, it's just so scary to see such a strong team, especially on the press. They suffocate you, and with such a youthful squad, they're just constantly running at you, and it's kind of scary. It's almost like guerrilla warfare where they're just coming at you, no tactics. Well, obviously there's tactics, but their tactic is to just suffocate you, and they do it very very well. So that was it for I think on Wednesday. Going on to Thursday, we had some interesting games. I think it was Man City versus Napoli was one of the interesting games because it was the return of Kevin De Bruyne, but he immediately got subbed out. Unfortunately, just a not even a bad tackle. It's just unfortunate. He was last man, and he gets Holland instead of the ball. Ends up getting a red card, and I think that was the the part that just kind of ruined the game for Napoli. they had to take out De Bruyne. I would have taken out Højlund, to be honest, because I think De Bruyne will probably hold the ball better. But De Bruyne is not, I guess, as effective against a team when you don't have the outlet to give it to, right? De Bruyne, what could he possibly do? He's not going to run with the ball. He's just going to hold the ball and try to offload it to somebody else. So I understand why Conte took out De Bruyne, because essentially they're just going to try to counter, and they're just probably going to try to just do long balls into their attackers and just try to run in the space, as Man City kept pressing higher and higher due to them having more players on the field. So I get it, but ultimately it just sucks that was what happened, because I think Napoli has been growing a lot. They won the Scudetto last season. They did a lot of good transfers this transfer window, and this was like an amazing test for Napoli to see where they're at right now. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen. Haaland and Doku got their goals early on in the second half, and then after that, the game kind of like died out. It is what it is. Man City knew that they won the game, and Napoli probably just didn't want to get blown out and scored so much, so they probably just kind of both just decided, hey, like, I'm not going to attack you, kind of like, I mean, nobody wants to not attack. Obviously, there's going to be opportunities, but I think Napoli's main concern was not to get out, like just blown out and end up losing 4-0, and Man City was comfortable with the lead. So unfortunate, but I think we did see some sparks from Rodri. Of course, it's not the hardest job to control the midfield when the opposition is lacking a midfielder. But I think we're starting to see Rodri come back, which is good for football, and it's good for Man City overall.
Yeah, man, it was very unfortunate. This isn't. You hear Kevin De Bruyne, he's going to play against his old team, Man City. He's done so much for, and Napoli after winning La Scudetto, like you said, and you expected a good game. A tough game. Who knows what would have happened without that already. But it's just unfortunate. Last man. I mean, that's always going to be a red card. And then they take out De Bruyne, not even from injury, just for tactical reasons. I mean, there goes the whole big anticipation gone out the window. They're playing 70 minutes with one man less. It was only bound to happen. It is a league phase, so they're trying to not get scored on so many times. So, they try to do what they can defensively, only get scored on twice. Those goal differentials are going to matter at the end. So, I mean, Napoli did what they could. It was just unfortunate that it panned out the way it did. I would have loved to see both teams going at it. Napoli is a good, solid team, and with De Bruyne going against his old team, it just sucked having to see him go off so early. So, I mean, unfortunate game. City took the comfortable lead. I mean, not much else to say.
Yeah, unfortunate. We would have loved to have seen a better, more competitive game, but that's football. Anything can happen. And I think the main thing was that it was a red card so early. I think if it was a red card later in the game, maybe we would have been able to see more from Napoli, but I think it was like minute 25 or something like that. So it just kind of killed the game. But moving on, we saw Eintracht Frankfurt. Interesting thing about Eintracht Frankfurt, this is, since the 1950s, this is the first time that they've qualified for Champions League based on their league, like how they finished top four. Before in 2023, they qualified for the Champions League, but it was because they won the Europa League the season before. But this is the first time they qualified for the Champions League just based off of being able to qualify like everybody else through the regular league and positioning. So they definitely made their mark this time. Started off with a 5-1 win against Galatasaray. To me, to be honest, Galatasaray went up early in the game, and Frankfurt kind of like was able to recover, but I don't know. To me, it just kind of seemed a little bit more like Galatasaray was shooting themselves in the foot. A lot of their goals were from mistakes or deflections off the defenders, where I think this 5-1 win isn't as dominant as it should have been if Galatasaray was just a little bit better defensively. But interesting to see Frankfurt with their new striker getting a brace. Burkhardt is his name. German striker, came from, I want to say, Stuttgart last season, or Mainz, and 19 goals last season in the league. So interesting to see how he develops, just because Frankfurt is kind of known for their development of their strikers. Um, yeah, I mean, kind of like a not the best of games, just because it's two teams that we're probably not going to see go far in the Champions League, but nonetheless, it's Champions League. These are big teams, and yeah, overall, good match to see, I guess, as far as um, the outsider kind of watching the game, of seeing 6 goals in a Champions League game. Finally, we got Barca versus Newcastle. Trashford is back. He's no longer Trashford. Got a brace. This guy is despicable. I no longer respect this man for wearing this jersey, going on and saying that Messi's his favorite player when we all know he's a Ronaldo
Bullshit.
fan.
Bullshit.
Just trying to make points. But it was a good game, to be honest. I mean, no Lamine Yamal due to injury. So they started Rashford, got a brace, it worked out. And Newcastle, kind of interesting to see that they didn't start Woltemade and they put him in kind of late into the, well, I guess not late, but pretty early in the second half. I don't know why they didn't start him, but it is what it is. They're probably just, they saw something else. Maybe they wanted Gordon up top because of his pace. They wanted to counter and exploit Barca that way. But yeah, I mean, overall, just, I guess, an underwhelming game. I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, it is just Newcastle. Newcastle's a good team. Um, but yeah, I mean, the stats say that Newcastle had the higher XG. So I guess now we see the fruits of the new signing of Joan Garcia. But overall, not the game of the season. I guess I would say.
Yeah, by any means. It was a pretty underwhelming game. Watched that one, and I mean, it was just a very midfield battle. Um, both sides. They Newcastle had a couple chances. Elanga is so fast, though. Oh my God, Elanga! He's got the pace to win the race, man. There's one play he was behind three Barca defenders, and I forget who. It might have been Guimaraes. He just kind of sends a toe pokes it through, and you see Elanga overlap so fast, man. And he gets it. He gives a good cross to, I think it's Harvey Barnes, um, and he hits it with his left foot. Doesn't get the best contact. Goalie's able to block it. It should have gone in. To be honest, He should have been hitting that in the back of the net, hit it to the across the post. But nonetheless, like there was very like you can count the chances both teams kind of had, But I think Barcelona was for sure still the better team. Um, I feel like they're lacking. They're missing a little bit of Lamine Yamal's spark. But Rashford, man, he's the name of the game. He stepped up when had to. Nice little header, nice little banger with his right foot, campanita. He showed what he's capable of. Shushed the haters in the big scene, in the screen, and he's gonna give Lamine Yamal a run for his money. Nah, not at all. But I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, I guess it's good to see Rashford good. I mean, don't really care too much for him, but I mean, he was looking depressed for a couple years, So I mean, I still like England, so I think for England's sake, it's good to see him getting his form back, scoring goals, and looks like he's enjoying football again. So besides that, I mean, weird to see Newcastle not start with Voldemort, whatever his name is,
Baltimore.
but but I feel like Barca doesn't have the tallest center backs. That 6'7" giant could have really um, helped them out with some crosses, but I mean Newcastle gave a fight. They were able to scrap a goal at the end, 2-1. They'll take it. They haven't had the best start of the season in the Premier League. They played Barca first game, 2-1. I'm sure they'll be fine. We'll see what they do for the rest of the season. Barca, you could tell the Pedri's running the show. Rashford's critical. The rest of them, I mean, I didn't really see much. I saw a couple misses from Me Lopez and Ferran Torres. Like they weren't as critical. Lewandowski was a little shy today, and yeah, I mean, besides that, Barca's still in the name of the race, you know. So we'll see how they do when Lamine is back. But besides that, you know, they were the better team overall. So we'll give him the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, good start from Barca in the Champions League and in the league. I think neither one of them had that good of a transfer window. So, I mean, those are some aspects, I guess, towards why. Nah, I think they just both suck. That was a boring game. But yeah, that was the overall Champions League. Interesting game. Olympiacos versus Pafos. Pafos. I just want to mention them real quick. They're Cyprian. They're a Cyprian team. Not common to see a Cyprian team in the Champions League. They also have David Luiz. I don't know if you remember David Luiz, guy
Yeah,
with the curly
he's
hair.
manager now, or he's playing.
No, he's playing. But yeah, that was the week of Champions League. Anything you want to add?
Not really. I mean, we're still just game week one. Are you able to bring up the table right now?
I don't know if I could share it, but
Don't share it, but just like name me the top. Who are the top
oh
teams on there?
well, yeah, it's Eintracht Frankfurt because they won 5-1. They're on top of PSG because they scored more goals than PSG. After PSG, it follows Club Brugge and Sporting that they both won 4-1. Um, so overall, the top 8 teams from bottom to top is Inter, Arsenal. They both won 2-0. Bayern and Union Saint-Gilloise won 3-1. Sporting Club Brugge won 4-1. PSG won 4-0. And Eintracht Frankfurt is sitting at first place with that 5-1 win. Interesting. But yeah, good first week. We had a lot of good games. Some more underwhelming than others, but I mean, this is a Champions League. We're gonna see the best of the best going at it. But yeah, overall, I think it was a good start to the Champions League season, and can't wait for the rest of the season. We're gonna keep on doing these videos, at least a recap or maybe one per day. We'll see how busy we're doing. We both have jobs and other things that keep us busy, but our goal is to keep on pushing these videos out. Any last words?
I mean, exciting season for the Champions League. I think the new format really shut the haters up this time around. A lot of people had a lot of negative things to say last season, you know, with the new format. But this format, I mean, you get games like these, you know, you have Bayern playing Chelsea, Liverpool playing Atletico, big teams facing each other, where you're not going to get um, a home and away, and every point matters, you know. So it's not like, all right, you already know you won your group stage. Let's just put our bench in the last 2 games, you know, and you just get boring games into the playoffs, you know. So I'm really loving the new format. Exciting games coming up. Every point matters, like I said, and yeah, I mean, let's just keep hoping we get a lot more good games in the future. But yeah, we'll be putting up more videos. Premier League is coming up. Good start of the game week 4. Let's see how we do. We'll definitely do more individual videos, together videos. You know, you'll see a lot more Liverpool stuff, Chivas stuff with Andres. But yeah, let us know in the comments your opinions, your thoughts, what you thought about this first game week Champions League. Any that surprised you, any players that you think, you know, seeing the light. But besides that, leave a like, comment if you enjoyed any of this. If not, piss off. But we'll see you on the next video.
Peace.